Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, confused souls and overthinkers of all ages, welcome. If you're sitting there right now, sipping your lukewarm tea, staring at the ceiling, asking yourself the age-old question, what am I even doing with my life? Then congratulations. You've just qualified for the Universal Human Club. Because let me tell you something, not knowing what to do is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that you are alive, aware, and standing at the edge of growth. Now, before we dive into the deep waters of wisdom, let me make one thing clear. Not knowing what to do is actually step one of doing something amazing. But most people treat it like a curse. They panic, they overeat, they binge watch shows about people who do know what they're doing. Or worse, they ask Google, "Hey Google, what should I do with my life?" And Google replies, "Have you considered a career in data analysis?" "No, Google, I barely analyze my laundry." So today, I'm here to help you out. If you don't know what to do this. In a world where everyone is sprinting like headless chickens, sometimes the most productive thing you can do is to just stop. Take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Don't worry, this isn't yoga class. No one's going to judge your form. Stopping gives your brain the time it needs to reboot. You see, your mind is like a laptop. If you open 38 tabs, 4 Zoom calls, and a YouTube video of cats playing piano, it's going to crash. Pause, reflect, breathe. That's the first step to clarity. Let me ask you, have you ever used Google Maps and ended up at the wrong destination? You typed Italian restaurant, but somehow you're in front of a Thai massage parlor. You didn't scream and throw your phone in a lake. Well, maybe once. You just recalculated. That's life. You don't always get it right on the first try. But being lost doesn't mean you're a loser. It just means you're exploring new territory. So don't curse the fog, learn to dance in it. Even GPS says recalculating, not you idiot. I know, this sounds insane. Try something I suck at? Are you trying to ruin my self-esteem? Yes, absolutely, but only temporarily. Here's the deal. When you try something you're bad at, you remove the pressure to be perfect. You give yourself space to explore, play, and actually enjoy the process. Take a painting class, even if your stick figures look like they've been electrocuted. Try learning guitar, even if the last string you touched was attached to your hoodie. Do it badly and boldly. Because sometimes, in the act of doing something silly, you stumble into your passion. Or at the very least, you laugh a lot, and that's a win too. Let's kill this myth once and for all. There is no one true calling. This is not Tinder for careers. You're not waiting for one magical swipe that unlocks eternal purpose. In fact, most successful people didn't find their passion, they built it. They followed curiosity, stacked skills, failed forward, and eventually discovered something they loved. Steve Jobs once said, "You can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backward." Translation, right now your life might look like a toddler scribbled on it with crayon, but 10 years from now it'll look like a masterpiece. So stop obsessing about finding your purpose and instead follow your passion is possibly the most dangerous advice ever given. I'm passionate about pizza, naps, and staying indoors, but that doesn't mean I should open a mattress and pepperoni combo store. Follow your interests instead. They're lighter, gentler, less pressure. If you're curious about something, writing, coding, cooking, gardening, Kung Fu Panda voice impersonations, try it. That tiny flicker of interest might just be the match that lights your fire. And don't worry if you lose interest later. That's normal. Think of it like dating. Sometimes you need to try a few hobbies before you find one. Let me give you a life-changing secret. Clarity comes from action, not thought. You don't think your way into knowing. You do your way into knowing. Take the smallest possible step in any direction. Want to start a business but don't know how? Google how to start a business and read one article. Want to be a writer? Write 200 messy words. Want to travel the world? Start saving $1 a day and Google cheap destinations. Small actions snowball. Momentum is powerful. Don't wait for the perfect time. That unicorn doesn't exist. Just do something, anything. Even if it's wrong, you've learned what not to do. And hey, Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before he invented the light bulb. I failed to plug in my phone charger correctly at least twice a night. We're both geniuses in our own way. You open Instagram and boom, there's Sarah. Sarah just bought a villa in Italy, started a tech company, and has a six-pack that looks photoshopped by angels. Meanwhile, you're sitting on your couch wearing socks with holes, eating cereal for dinner, wondering if your cat respects you. Listen, social media is a highlight reel. You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's trailer. Run your race. Some people are rockets, others are hot air balloons. You still rise, just differently. When you're stuck in life and don't know what to do, talk to old people and kids. Seriously. It might sound strange, but they hold two of the most powerful perspectives you'll ever find. Old people have lived through decades of change, hardship, love, mistakes, victories, and losses. They've seen trends come and go. They've watched dreams rise, fall, and transform. They've buried friends, built families, survived wars, recessions, heartbreaks, and moments you can't even imagine. When they speak, they don't waste time with fluff. They say what matters because they've already spent a lifetime filtering out the nonsense. Sure, some might be brutally honest, and yes, they may remind you that back in my day things were tougher. But behind those words are golden lessons about resilience, patience, and perspective. They won't always give you the answer, but they'll remind you of what truly counts: love, health, integrity, peace of mind. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, talk to kids. Kids are wild, uncensored creativity wrapped in tiny bodies. Ask a 5-year-old what they want to be, and they won't say data analyst or regional manager. They'll say a rainbow firefighter ninja who flies a spaceship and bakes cookies with dragons. Beautiful. Kids don't ask, is this realistic? They just imagine. They dream boldly because the world hasn't told them what's possible yet. So when you're feeling lost, talk to both. Let the old remind you where you're going. And let the young remind you who you were before fear crept in. Between their wisdom and their wonder, you'll find the clarity you've been searching for. Because sometimes the best advice doesn't come from gurus. It comes from someone with wrinkles or someone with jelly on their face. You don't need confidence to start. You need courage. Confidence is a result, not a requirement. No baby ever said, you know what, I'll try walking once I feel confident. They just wobble, fall, giggle, and try again. So why are you waiting to feel ready? Just wobble forward, let people laugh, it's fine. At least you're moving. When in doubt, help someone. Mentor a student, volunteer, listen to a friend, donate your time. Because helping others pulls you out of your own head. You stop obsessing over your life and start impacting others. And sometimes in giving someone else clarity, you find your own. Plus, nothing boosts your mood like making someone else smile except maybe puppies in hats. But helping people? That's free, and you don't have to walk it twice a day. We grow up being fed a neat little storyline. Go to school, get good grades, go to college, land a good job, get married by 30, buy a house, raise kids, save for retirement, and then peacefully fade into a hammock by the beach until death politely knocks on your door. Neat, clean, predictable. That's adorable, but also fiction. Real life is not a straight line. It's not a staircase where each step leads logically to the next. It's not a highway with one clear destination and smooth exits. Real life is a bowl of spaghetti. That's right, it twists, it tangles. You think you're making progress, then boom, you're stuck under a meatball of problems you never saw coming. One moment you're confident you're on the right path, and the next, you're wondering if you accidentally joined a circus. And honestly, that's okay. That's not failure. That's just life doing what life does. Being unpredictable, chaotic, and sometimes saucy. The people you admire didn't follow a perfect script. Oprah was fired from her first television job and told she was unfit for TV. Walt Disney was once told he lacked creativity. J.K. Rowling was rejected by a dozen publishers while being a broke single mom. If they had believed in a linear life, they would have quit at the first detour. So embrace the loops. Celebrate the detours. Be okay with not knowing exactly where you are as long as you keep going. Your timeline doesn't have to match anyone else's. Life's not a checklist. It's a story. A messy, hilarious, beautiful, tear-filled, unpredictable story. And guess what? Spaghetti may not look neat, but it tastes amazing. So twirl your fork and dig in. Seriously. Sometimes the best way to deal with confusion is to just laugh. Laugh at your uncertainty. Laugh at your mistakes. You're human. You once believed in the tooth fairy. You survived puberty. You probably still forget your passwords. Life is ridiculous. So stop taking yourself so seriously. If you can laugh, you can live. And if you can live joyfully while figuring things out, that's success. If you don't know what to do, that's not a dead end. It's a starting point. It's an invitation to explore, to learn, to grow. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're just becoming. And becoming is messy, weird, beautiful, and worth every second. So here's your assignment starting today. Stop overthinking. Take a small step. Laugh often. Try something new. Be okay with not knowing. And remember, not all who wander are lost. Some are just taking the scenic route with snacks. So go ahead. Wander, wonder, wiggle through the weirdness. Just don't stand still forever. Because life might not give you a perfect map, but it will reward your movement. So move, and if you don't know what to do something. Do anything. Just don't do nothing. The rest will figure itself out. Thank you.